first round, but just good to be starting towards the front. You know, the last couple of weeks we've started pretty deep in the field. That makes it for, you know, a long day. So yeah, we'll be starting probably looks like 10th here, but happy to be starting up there for sure.
Getting a few weeks under your belt, under the new Legacy Motorsports, having Noah come in, having Jimmy come in, what are your earliest, I guess, thoughts or, you know, observations?
Yeah, I mean, you just want to, you know, consistently improve, and I think, you know, right now we're similar to where we were last year. I think we've got plans, you know, hopefully in place here to continue to try to get better as the year goes, but you know, working with Noah has been good, kind of trying to get him comfortable and, you know, up to speed. Obviously, him and Luke haven't worked together on this car, and it's a new group for them. So, you know, just trying to get them comfortable, up to speed. But overall, like I said, just kind of working to try to get things better week by week. And you know, I think we've got a plan in place for that. We just gotta execute it.
Andy Petrie talks about the feedback that you give post-race is just some of the best that you know he's seen and been very helpful. How have you kind of worked, and again, I know part of that's field, but we still got to be able to express, you know, explain to somebody what it's doing and how you kind of improve upon that area.
Yeah, I mean, I think it stems back pretty far, you know, I would say to late model days, really, and not that they have anything to do with these cars, but just working on cars. I worked on a lot of my own stuff when I was young, and you know, even till today, when I go back and race late models, I still work on my stuff, and I try to stay. They don't really let me touch these things, but I try to stay up on kind of what's going on and what makes them tick and what they like, and I think that kind of correlates back to feedback. You know, at least it gives you an idea of, hey, if I'm feeling this, maybe it's this area, and that's probably something that working with Kyle Busch taught me a long time ago when I started racing trucks and stuff like that. I felt like he always excels in that area, so tried to focus and get better at it, and just, you know, through the years trying to stay up on those things, I think has kind of contributed to that side. So what are those alliance meetings like now that Kyle is a part of them again? Yeah, I mean, it's obviously reminds me more back to, you know, working in my previous life. I mean, JGR and with Kyle at his team, he, you know, approaches the meetings more like we did in those days, and I think it's been really good for the group. I think overall it's brought some good structure in, brought some good and better feedback in, probably focus on more of the correct things that we need to, things that really are going to make the cars go fast. So it's been good. I think Kyle's brought some good stuff to the table, and I think you'll see that here as the year keeps going. The cars just continue to improve from that. Is it as much bluntness, or just is he also just asking questions because he's learning the process with how it's being done with your group? I think it's both. You know, I think Kyle's pretty straightforward on what he's wanting and what he wants to do and where he wants to go. But I think he's also making people, you know, be honest with themselves, right, about what's going on and kind of where we're at and what we're looking to do and what our goals are. And I think he's brought a lot of that to the table, just probably some accountability, you know. And sometimes when you're in your world, it's hard to, you know, have that. So when you have an outside person come in, I think it kind of helps get that, you know, a little bit more down the line.
Thank you.
What do you think you needed, like, to be fast with this package compared to November, the differences?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I think everybody's struggling a bit more with entry. You know, I think we saw that yesterday, and exit a little bit too, probably, but just overall grip. But I think everybody's struggling with entry, getting in the corner, feeling comfortable, really charging in. There's a lot of speed to be gained there at Phoenix, and you know, the guys who are comfortable there, I think, are going to be quick.
Sure. And you've shown some speed in the early races. What more do you think you guys need, or think you're excelling at?
Yeah, I mean, Fontana, we were off. Vegas, I thought we had a really good car. We just needed to be faster. And then we had, you know, a couple things go wrong, loose wheels and stuff. But, you know, I think we just need a little bit of speed. I feel like our balance has been, close. But I think this weekend's probably the closest we've been as far as speed and balance. I was a little bit worried about speed before today. You know, yesterday I felt like we were really good on the long run, but we didn't post a quick lap. We were 25th in practice. So it's good to be quicker today. You know, be up in the top 10 there is good. So I think this is the closest we've been so far.
The learning curve from Xfinity to Cup is a pretty steep one. You made that transition a few years ago. What advice or help have you been able to give Noah to help him make that transition?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is Man, there's so many things that are different, right? But I think the biggest thing is just not getting frustrated, not getting down. You know, I know Noah's been frustrated with how the first few weeks have went, and you know, in Xfinity, it's kind of easy to turn that around. You have one bad week, and I feel like if you're in, if you're in a good car, it's easy to go back out and have a solid race, even win a race. But you know, you look at last year. I mean, if you could win 2 or 3 races last year, that was a great season, right? There's only a couple guys that did won more than one race, so I think it's just a mindset adjustment and keeping him focused on that. And then it's a lot different car. Learning, you know, kind of about the car, what it likes and what it wants to do has been what I've tried to focus with him on, just what I look for in the race car. And, you know, when he's struggling with this, maybe give him some direction or guidance on what he could do to make it better in the car, not, you know, what we can change on the race car itself. So it's all tough. It's kind of drinking from a fire hose. And obviously then we've got a different package this weekend. So it's a lot of different stuff going on, but I've been trying to help him when I can, not overload him though either.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.